All right, welcome back to another episode of Till the Dirt. This is the Shahs Rewatch. Today we're rewatching season two's reunion, both parts, and we're doing it with the special guest, Lindsay Spector. Welcome back to Till the Dirt. Thank you. How you been?
I'm good. Hi, Tommy June, like Andy greeted everybody.
Very true. Now, before we jump into it, I've kind of been slow footing. Well, I've had a bunch of people can't. I don't know whether it gets stage fright or whatever the hell it is, but they all, yeah, I want to do it. And then it comes time to do it, and they just no show. So I've had a few of those. I've been busy with personal work and stuff, obviously,
Right,
with what went down with the Mets. But I've also been slow because I knew the reunion was coming and I
right.
didn't know how to play the reunion. Like, I didn't know if I wanted to do a recap of the reunion because the reunion is just a recap of the shows that we just watched, right?
Okay.
But I also know that, some juicy shit goes on at the reunion.
Yeah.
And, some behind the scenes stuff, that's twofold. There's two main reasons why, a lot of drama happens at the reunion. The first and foremost is they haven't been told. Now, this is for, I know for Shaw's, but I'm willing to bet it's for every reality show,
I'm
especially the ones
sure.
on Bravo.
Yeah.
They haven't been told that they're getting picked up yet for the
Right.
next season.
Right.
Reza tells you that in the first 5 minutes of this one
If we
that
continue to next
exactly
season,
if we get another season, I might shave my mustache or whatever the fuck. But they're, and again, this is season two. So I'm sure season four, season five, they're a little bit more, feeling their oats. But
Right.
right now, they still don't know if they're a show like
And
that. If it's getting
being that it was the first reunion, they also didn't really know what to expect, probably.
that too. And there's really only, you probably would know better than me, but the other shows like Real Housewives of Orange County and like the other pioneers
Yeah.
to the network, I don't know if they all had reunions at this point. Um,
I think most, I mean, I know like recently with the Valley that they just had, they didn't have a reunion for season one. So
Well,
probably,
that's the other big thing. Well, first off, just still touching on that other point, that's, Bravo also has a way about their reunions that are different than other reality
yes,
networks that might have reunions. For
true.
example, you look at My Wife with Traders, right? For
Right.
anybody that watched Traders or anybody that watched the reunion, she went in there picking fights with Trishelle and with the other dude, whatever his name was, because in her that's Tamara did the same. Like that's like
Right.
Bravo. That's from the school that they come from,
Exactly.
which is when we get to reunion, we're supposed to get messy. Where if you watch like those, the challenge reunions, it's really not like that. It's
They're kind
really
of
more
wrapping it
about
up. Other shows are like wrapping up what happened, kind
yeah,
of,
haven't seen you in a long
yeah,
time. What have you up to? What have you been doing? You know what I mean? Oh my God, I forgot that even happened. You know what
right.
I mean? So like it's just a different tenor and tone where like the Bravo people are there to throw shit at each other. You know what I mean? They're there to
Or
get messy.
battle out a fight or finish
Yeah.
up a fight
And
or
the other
whatever.
reason is well, the first one, like I said, they don't know if they're getting picked up yet. And the second major reason is they get paid.
Right.
So if like it's one day of filming, right? It's one day, it could be a very long day. Like this one, I'm sure was 10 hours,
Oh
12
yeah,
hours with the
definitely.
makeup and all that other shit. But at the end of the day, if you have a bunch of juice, they might make two, three episodes of it. And if they do, you
Depending.
get paid your per episode fee for each. So like for a show like Shaw's, do the math. They only had what, 12 episodes? So if they get a
Yeah,
two-part reunion,
that's pretty good.
that's a percentage of that
Right.
year's, so that's why a lot of times they're bringing out the guns at the reunions. Also, one of the reasons I was a little apprehensive of watching it because I just know it's messy, but I also know it's messy for that reason. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like
Right.
you're going to be walking into a bloodbath. Who's going to get it? But there's a reason behind. Like, even Reza says at the end, we're on like when they're all talking about my wife's terrible drinking problem. Meanwhile, it's right after they did a full-on montage of everybody getting shit-faced on the show. Like you're like
Exactly.
whether she has a drinking problem or not, nobody here is the one to cast the stone, dude. You know
Because
what I
yeah,
mean?
they
Like
all do.
yeah, and when Mike's like, why not just sit her down, take her to a therapist, and Reza's like, because we're on a reality show.
Right.
That just tells you all you need to know about literally everything that just happened in the
Right.
last two
They're
hours that I had to
exaggerating.
watch. You know what I mean? And especially, but again, without jumping too far into it, we are going to like retrace some of the steps, get some closure on some of the things that happened. I will say the first thing that was struck out to me was Andy. He
Yeah.
looked
So young. I
right.
hate to say that, but
Right? I don't mind
yeah.
him. Like, he's a young looking guy. I've been around
Yeah.
and he's in very good
Right.
shape. He takes very good care of himself. I think it's just the gray, but he
Yeah,
was
I'm sure.
so like, it was just a little pepper seed at that point. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I was
Like
thinking
now
that
he's
too.
gray. That was yeah, just that was the first thing that struck out to me. But everybody else kind of looks the same to me,
Yeah,
except my wife. My wife looks she's beautiful anyway. I know, but she
she is.
looks. I don't want to say younger because she's getting mad at me, but she looks a little bit.
It's
Like
just
it just.
different. It's different. We've
Yeah,
all changed in 10 years. I mean,
it's the only. That's all I'm saying. Of the
yeah,
people there, she's the like Reza now has a different look too with this pepper seed, but
totally.
I haven't seen
Totally.
Reza in a long time. Like but like everybody else to me, kind of less more like no one
Similar.
struck
Yeah.
out to me like that's 12 years ago. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right, right, right.
Um,
I guess that's a good thing, right? If they don't look like
yes.
they're aged or vice versa or whatever.
No, listen, Persia's got the good genes, man. They definitely they age well. I will say Lily's hair looks ridiculous. It
I
is
can't with
just
her. I
it,
just can't. I can't at all with her.
and Gigi, they start off with Gigi. Gigi got a comment somewhere about her being the Rosa Parks of reality television.
Okay.
Yeah, like a comment like that. Does she know who Rosa Parks is? Like I like
Probably not.
what is you know what I mean? And then of all she looked the worst to me on the reunion. She was
Yeah.
very aggressive. She didn't really, she was very childish. She didn't come off well at the reunion.
Is sorry, real quick, but I think at the time was Gigi the youngest of the
I think
cast?
so.
Right.
I think Lily might be. I
Okay.
think
Well,
Lily's younger than Gigi.
okay, but probably not by much.
Yeah. The first look we get it, Lily in the snapshot. And it just shows how key editing is for reality
Yeah.
television because in that montage, it made like, oh shit, you know what I mean? It made her look like a real integral part of the season.
Yeah.
And she wasn't to me. Like when I
No.
watched the show in real time and I went over it with you guys and like everything that she was in, it felt like they pressed her in it. You
They
know
had
what I
to push
mean?
her in it just because she was there and she had to be in something.
Yeah, it didn't seem organic, and her scenes would like pop up in the middle, like something would happen between Asa and Reza, and then they'd wedge her Leela scene in, and then you continue and go right back to Reza, and it was like, why was that scene? It just,
Right.
like I said, she didn't. But in the montage, it was like, oh wow, where was this? You know what
She
I
had a
mean?
lot of things going
So
on.
that's the other aspect. It's so difficult for me to watch these reunions because I've been like I know how the editing process works with them. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like where someone will be talking and they'll show someone else and see their face like, oh, you don't
Yeah.
know if that's really what they were doing in that moment.
That
You know
moment.
what I
Right.
mean? Like in that moment in time, they could have been picking their nose, they could have been looking at, oh, this is a nice room. You know what I mean? But
Or if it was
them
like,
constantly in the reunion, like it makes them, oh, you know what
or
I'm saying?
even if it was a scene that like it wasn't the same people that they're talking about actually in the scene. Like maybe the one person was there and they're telling that they weren't there or something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
like when you just see them cut away, like when you'll hear someone spilling their guts out, whether it's my
Right.
wife, whether it's Reza, whether it's Lily, Asa talking about a diamond water, and you see them cut to the other people and just the shade, like,
Oh yeah. They could have been rolling their eyes at something
listen,
else completely.
it could be real. It could be right in that, like, that could be them laughing their ass off at what she just said, or it could not. And that's
Right.
tough for me because it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in the room, you could tell how someone really feels. Like, I've been on
Right.
the reunions, like, you could tell where shit's coming from. But, like, when you watch, it's like, I don't know. Was that a cut? You know what I mean? Because it seems too perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and again, I know these people. I highly doubt that if someone's spilling their heart out and something's really like, or they're defending themselves or they're being impassioned about anything, and someone's sitting across from them within eye view going, whoo, and
Yeah,
they
I don't
say
know.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
know these people. They'd be like, well, what the fuck are you laughing at? You know what I mean? So that part is just a little bit difficult for me. But again, they're also, this is their first time around Andy like this in this
True.
moment.
True.
Andy's a big wig at Bravo. They're trying to play certain time. You know what I mean? It's
They're
I don't
doing
know.
whatever they've kind of been told to do, maybe as well, from
Could
a
be. It's again,
man,
it's very
somebody.
early on in these type of things. So, like you said, I don't think they know how to do this yet. And this is, them. But you can honestly tell right away, Reza has come with the plan, and
Oh,
it's to attack
always,
my wife. It's to tear
always.
my wife to bits. He's got Asa and he's got Lilly. Like, they're all on the same page. Like,
I,
there was a text thread that
yeah,
went
yeah.
down before they film. Listen, we're gonna call her out for her
That's what we're
drinking,
gonna
for
do.
her
Yeah.
pills. We're gonna call her out for all her lying and what a big bitch she is. Yeah, sounds great. I can't wait.
I was like, oh, I kind of was thinking as I was watching, I was like, oh no, what is Tommy thinking? Like when they're bashing her so much, I'm like,
Oh,
I
it's
just
obvious.
can't
Like,
believe some of
to
it.
me, I don't know if anyone else, to me, that's obviously planned. It's like
Yeah,
obviously planned and coordinated. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
again, the second Reza said, if we could come back for season three, tells me that all he's thinking about is coming back.
What
How do we
next?
get season three, dude?
Right.
How do we get season three? The reunion is the last. It's the last step you got because again, this is also the last that Bravo has with you for that working year,
Right.
right? So you want to leave them with the good taste. You want to leave them wanting more, and my wife is reactionary. You know what I mean? She plays off of people. She's
Right.
not the instigator. She's not the
I've noticed.
initiator in any of the things. She's just too well reserved, like they call spaced out or whatever the fuck.
I
So
do the same thing she does though in social setting. Like I kind of tune people out until I have to like say something.
yeah, listen, it's something that would either you like about my wife that you find endearing, which I do, which she's like a space
Right.
cadet sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm her husband. Trust me, I could also get how frustrating that could be too. You know what I
Yeah, of
mean?
course.
But the point is, she can't go in there with a plan. Like she can't go to the reunion with a plan. Like, cause
Right.
she's not gonna follow through with it. She's gonna do her own thing. So like Reza has a plan. Like, I want to spice this thing up. This is gonna be spicy. He can't tell my wife that because
No.
like, or he did probably 1,000 times, but
And
like
she's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, let's just
and
go
soften
tomorrow.
the blow too. Like,
Yeah.
listen, this is reunion. It's reunion. So like whatever, we're trying to stay on TV for reality for season three.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kind of, so just be ready. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
um, they immediately start attacking her for her partying and whatnot. And again, it's like, did you
But
watch?
they're all doing it.
They're
They're
all doing
all doing it.
Bro,
And
the only one, Lily's the only one who could sit there and
and
be
really
like, "Yeah, man, you all get too fucked up." You know what I'm
right.
saying? Even if Oscar was like, "Yeah, they do drink too much," it's still like, "No, bitch, you were drinking too." You know what I mean? Like, and
Right.
Gigi, I feel like drinks, and during the
More than probably
season,
any of
I
them.
think she drinks more than anybody. But she was also trying to stick up for my wife a little bit.
And
Uh,
Mike did too. I was like, oh, this is nice. Mike would stood up for her as well. Did my
yeah,
man.
Mike did as well. And then we found out that Mike's posing for Playgirl, which
I don't remember that.
I think I remember hearing that, like again, not during real time, like when I
Right.
came into this world, but
Yeah.
then like oh shit, that was the thing that really happened because I can't see him doing that in the
No, no, no.
community he's from. It's like, oh wow, that really went down. But I
I
guess
almost wanted to look it up, to be honest with you.
so you don't have the
I don't
centerfold,
have that. I
you
don't
don't
have
have it
that
hanging up
issue. Sorry.
in your room, no. All right, let me find out, Lindsay. Let me find out. Um. Then Lilly comes clean. I'll tell you who really came out the best to me on this reunion was Lilly.
Yeah.
She was organized in her thoughts. She kept back things up. I just have a I can't handle her voice, dude. I can't.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
know.
happy they talked about it. You know what I mean? Like that. It's
Right.
not just like that's a thing. But even like when she squared off with my wife, she kicked my wife's ass, man. You know what I mean? She's talking about lie, lie, lie. Who cares if it's true? My wife can't. She doesn't. She's not good at that. She's the only like. She, that's that Vita in her, where
Hmm.
she's not going to come back with witty retorts. It's going to be, you fucking cunt bitch. You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I mean? And
yeah.
that you lose right then. You lose.
Exactly.
So you kind of just have to sit there, and she just sat there and takes it because she knows if I get reactionary, it's going to sound like Gigi did. Like
I was just gonna say it's like
there
Gigi
was no
react.
there was no combating. It was, yeah, you fucking ugly mutant, like that doesn't, no one's sitting there watching, cheering
Right.
that type of person on. Like, oh, you get him,
No,
girl. At least not me,
no. Right.
Instead of having a conversation, about shit that happened 8 months ago, you know what
Right.
I mean? We'll fight.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah. We'll just duke it out, whatever.
yeah.
With her knives, apparently, she's gonna use knives.
Yes, and uh so then they give us some cuts of Persian fights.
Right.
Um, and Asa not drinking, or Lilly being uptight, and uh, but again, like in those fights when they're talking about that, because even when they come out of the break of the fights, that's when I could tell that there was a legitimate plan between the three of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I don't mean like they're sitting there twirling their cartoon evil mustaches. I'm saying, like, yeah, we're gonna confront MJ.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do about her drinking and about her pill popping, and we're going to confront her on the unit. Good idea. They're each looking like, "Hey, it's not me. We're not
Right.
confronting me, right?" You know
And
what I mean?
and in reality, there was sort of like evidence, I guess, from the
Oh,
season
of
that kind
course,
of
of
backed it
course,
up what they were
of
saying, but
course. And my wife has a habit of fucking saying something and then 2 seconds later being
no, no,
disproved.
no, I didn't
You
say
know what
that.
I
What are
mean?
you talking about? No, no, it wasn't me.
It's like, yeah, it's like, no, like, I don't drink. It's just drinking.
Yeah,
You know
uh-huh,
what I mean? Like, what are you
totally.
talking about? But listen, I've been with my wife a long time, dude.
Yeah.
And, she definitely had a drinking problem when we were together. I did too. Like, we used to drink a lot, but all these people on the fucking show drink. My wife definitely drank more than most. But she doesn't now. And as far as the pills go, she was never a pill popper, dude. Like, I know,
Fair
I
enough.
know Jamie. Like, I like, trust me
Yeah,
when I tell
that would not have been something
you
you
what
would
they
want
look
to be
like.
around anyways, if
I
that was the case.
I know what pill poppers look like. She was never a pill popper. She'll take an Ambien every now and then if she's got fucking shit on her mind and she's having trouble
Yeah.
sleeping. But she's never been a pill popper. And again, like, a lot of that shit's hyperbole for, she's also the easiest mark. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she just sat there and kind of took it for an hour, and then at the end, he said something nice, and she was like, "Yeah, that's great."
Okay.
Like, so it's just like, what? You know? So I don't think anybody else, like, I don't think if they came at Asa like that, she's going to be able to handle it and it still be like cool. You know what I mean? I don't think
No,
if they came at
definitely.
anybody on that day, yes, and attacked them, the only one that's kind of just do what she did is my wife. Everybody else, I feel like would be up in arms. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they wouldn't be able just to move on. Like, you could just tell Gigi's mad at Asa through that whole shit, dude. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like,
yeah.
they might have touched on different subjects and topics or whatever the fuck, but Gigi still wants to fight Asa in the parking lot through the
And
whole
but ultimately, they probably don't even remember what they were fighting about because
Yeah,
it's
it's
they're fighting about.
fucking, it's months. I do think that they should have gave her a little bit more, Asa, a little bit more shit about her saying that Omid had a nose that I'm happy he didn't have plastic.
Yeah, like we don't need to talk about that. Who cares? And so what?
Yeah,
If whatever.
it's just like it's at a point. This is all very long ago. You know what I mean? And for them to still be so up in arms about it, it didn't go over well. But again, then we get to Lilly. And my wife kind of squaring off a little bit, and I think she kicked my wife's butt. I do. I think she, she got the last
Yep.
word in. She sounded like it, but like, and that's not to say that she was right. That's just saying my wife didn't do well there. My wife should have easily been like, I talk shit about you. Did you watch the
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah. Yeah.
episode, you're talking shit about me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every time you get a chance, you're talking shit about me. So what? I said other things to other people about you
All
after
the
I've
same.
seen this? Yeah, sorry. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, you were talking shit nonstop. To say that I was talking shit, like, she
Yeah.
just doesn't do a good job defending herself in that type of situation. So it really makes her look guilty.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
I wish she was better at it. Gigi would be fired today.
Oh
for
yeah.
calling Asa a transvestite 5 times.
Oh, some of the language I was
And
like,
she'd be fired.
whoa.
The thing with the knife was she picked up the knife, fired, dude. Like that would
Yeah.
never fly today.
No.
And it's funny that it's like key touch points in the episode. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
audience questions and like it's just kind of a thing where again, if that happened today in today's
No way.
climate, bro, you're getting HR call, you're getting
Yeah.
a producer call, you're
Yeah.
getting
No.
something from the network. Like
Not good.
she would, whether or not she would be fired or not, she would be definitely reprimanded. And she wasn't, you could tell, no, that's not
It
happened.
didn't matter. Nothing mattered.
Nothing mattered. Nothing, it really was. Nothing mattered. It was fucking
Different life,
chaos
different
then.
time in our
Yeah, it was
world.
chaos, man. They could get away with a lot of shit. Uh, um, and I don't see Layla being the sister that Gigi's painted her to be. I don't know. I wasn't
Like the
there.
mean, nasty,
And beating her up all the
sister.
time, and
Yeah,
like
no way.
I don't see
Layla's
it.
the older sister, right? Layla's older.
Layla's older,
Okay,
yes.
well, as the older sister who has a younger sister, we did fight, but it was probably just normal sisterly fighting, is what I'm guessing Layla and even Gigi had.
But it's not like Layla's 10 years older, so she like was beating her when she was 3 or
Right,
4. You know what I mean?
right.
She's like 3 years old. Like, what is she doing? You know, burning.
Yeah, pushed her down, took her toy. Okay, whatever.
Hitting you with pipes when your parents aren't looking. Like, what is she doing? Did she? And she makes it really seem like she was lucky to survive it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's where
No,
this all comes from. Is
she's an exaggerator.
like I can't hear anymore. How much everything I've been through. Yeah, and then like I said, she's squaring off with that. She does not look good in this
Oh,
episode. I'm not talking about her appearance or anything like that.
oh no, the
I'm
attitude.
just saying she looks immature. She looks like she doesn't have a real leg to stand on. So her natural response is to fight, you know what I mean? Or just say something insulting about you
Right.
as
Right.
opposed to, having, talking with your words.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I did not, she was the only Mike was, real passive. He didn't really make his impression felt in this. I
No.
do appreciate that a couple of times he tried to smooth things over between everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was a lot of focus and attention on him.
Not at all.
Lily looked good. I thought Asa looked fine. I thought, my wife looked good too, in the sense that
Oh yeah.
she took it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
got a
Yeah. She
fucking
didn't get so nasty back to
yeah,
anybody.
she got abused pretty much for an hour or whatever. It's a lot longer than an hour, but like we see an hour, 2 hours worth of abuse,
Right.
and she handles it pretty well. She doesn't ever get she doesn't ever get too nasty. She doesn't storm off like Gigi's always storms off.
Oh
Whatever the
yeah.
fuck. There's none of that. She just kind of sat there and took it. Um, and then they talk about, the work ethic and Persian work ethic, which is a little rich amongst this bunch. It's a little rich.
Ay.
It's a little rich. Mike is not, Mike, Gigi, you're my wife, does real well but she
Oh, but
doesn't.
she only sold one condo that year, right?
Yeah, it's so crazy. But they're not, but like us is like, I work real hard all the time. What? It's not on
And
your singing. It's
and
not
then having to like say, oh,
that event you had that there was 300 people that got
oh yeah,
turned away. Whatever.
yeah,
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 okay. So then why aren't you doing more of them, dude? You know what I
exactly,
mean? You just did a one-off. Oh, because you didn't even rehearse. She rehearsed one time for that one, but we're
right.
working hard. What are you working hard on?
But
So
she has 2 degrees, Tommy. She has 2 degrees from UT.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, psychology and what was the other one? Fucking. Well, I'll tell you, both are degrees that you're not making any money. You know what
Exactly,
I mean? It's like a liberal
exactly.
arts degree. Yeah, go get a job with that. What do you? No one's paying you to like. Well, I have a psychology degree, so I can't work the grill. You know what I
And
mean?
she should understand the people better than a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't like that she said like this theme that MJ can't be happy for her friends, because that's not true. And again, I'm not here to wave pom poms for my wife. I think I've already been pretty honest so far about my wife. When it calls for it, she's not like she definitely wants to see her friends do well, and if they do well, she's very happy for them. I think I'm worse than that. You know what I mean? I can see
Yeah.
myself sometimes getting a little envious with some of my friends doing well
Oh
and
yeah,
wanting
yeah.
the best, but it's like, ah, man, I wish I
But a
had that.
little bit, it's
There's
like,
a lot, there's that in me. There is. I'll be the first to say it, you know. She doesn't have that. So for her to say that, I just think that's untrue. And that's also a reoccurring thing that I've heard off, you know what I mean? Like online and
Yeah, yeah,
from,
yeah.
people that
The
talk
gossip.
to Oz and shit. It's one of the things I've always kind of heard. Well, she can't have women friends. Eh,
I don't
that's
believe
not
that.
really true. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
my wife's a mom now. All her friends are basically women. But that other thing that she's not happy for her friends is also something
But
that's not true.
I've always seen her as like the most down to earth, to be honest. I feel like
Yeah,
I would
and
she would
listen,
be one of my
look,
friends. Like,
look, take social for example. Not that that's the begin and end all, but when something positive happens for the other castmates on the show or other people she's friends with, she's the
yeah,
first person to post something about
of
it
course.
or comment or, it's so that part I don't agree
And
with.
just plus the way you guys talk on the other episodes highly of everybody.
Yeah, I like I said, it's just that's how that's why like Jeff has her with the chumps and all because
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah,
she's
yeah,
she's
yeah.
real supportive of the people that she's friends with.
Yeah.
And Asa at the same moment in the same breath also sounds so fucking ridiculous, dude. Like with the fucking diamond water and like
Okay,
it,
but you know what I was thinking? There is a thing because I own one of these bottles that has some gemstones in it, and it is supposed to have some cleansing thing, but it's not water that's filtered in the diamonds. It's just like a bottle that it sits
it's
in.
all nonsense, dude. It's fucking nonsense. And she took you. You got taken. You were one of the people. Oh, I'll buy it.
Yeah,
It's cool. And that's the only thing this was for. It
right.
wasn't for any fucking, it's gonna help people or whatever. Like
Healing, healing,
nonsense,
healing.
bro. Like she could have fucking got that water out of a puddle and said labeled it and thrown it and sell it for the
Right.
same shit.
Mhm.
It's nonsense. She's like, this would work, and this goes to my pop priestess nonsense.
Oh,
You know,
but all the gold she has to have all the gold, you know?
I thought that it was good. They came for a little bit too, because again, I can't care about poverty and like how broke she is. You got a fucking $1 million house. Who pays the mortgage? No, you don't. It was given to you. You know what I mean? And it's an
Yeah.
assessment. And so like, but Asa kind of she just gets on my nerves, bro. I just find her very disingenuous, and it
Yeah.
bothers me because it's also very high and mighty too. You know what I mean? It's gonna be one thing like Gigi, everything she was saying wasn't true. You know what I mean? When she was being combative,
Right, right,
like
right.
they were like checking her in real time. Like it was like you just said the opposite. Like she
Right.
was. So, but that's Gigi, and you get that. That's who she is. You know what I mean? She's not going to put up full shit when you're hanging out with her off camera. Gigi's Gigi. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Asa to me is just very not like it's very phony, dude. It's just very
She
and
tries to be
you know
like very calm and like, okay, guys, like it's okay. This is
Yeah,
this.
it's just like the
I'm like,
Zen
okay, no.
shit. I ain't buying it, man. Like Gigi was like, I'm not judging you.
But
I wouldn't get mentioned. And Andy's great. He's like, yo, dude, you know what judging means? You know what I mean? It's
right.
basically the same. Like you just said exactly that's judging. And I thought that was funny. But sometimes Persians, they just don't hear the things that they just said.
No, no,
Um,
no, they don't.
then we get to the significant others. Um, Gigi. Her getting, I didn't know that she was engaged and then
I didn't
canceled. And
realize
I
I
didn't know
never
that
heard
happened.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I've been in the scene for a while and you hear a lot of things, little bit like Mike and the Playgirl. You know what I mean? Like I
Right,
kind of
right,
heard
right.
it, but was that a real thing? I'm not asking. I don't give a
No.
shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right, 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 right.
So it's like you kind of hear it and like whatever. But I never heard her and Omid were engaged and broke up.
She got
I never
engaged.
heard that. So but that tells me it's a publicity type of deal. It's like
Oh,
her
for sure.
fucking marriage to Shalom. Like that's nonsense. All they did was fight in front of me, dude. I thought she was gonna stab
Mhm.
him. So like I think that, again, some people do reality television a certain way. And I think that's her toolbox. You know what I mean? That let's do some sensational shit or whatever. And
Right.
she just got married supposedly 2 days ago,
I,
3 days
I saw
ago.
that. I saw that
You know
on
what?
the
Come on,
I
I
was
still don't know if that's
like,
real or not. My wife went to that dinner party,
oh, that
and
was the one you guys were talking about.
yeah, and like I don't know, so like I still don't know. You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe she
Hey,
is. They are.
more
God
power to
bless.
her.
Health and happiness and all the
Oh yeah.
good things. And then, Mike is talking about how he wants to have the kids to convert to Judaism. And it's like, It's just
I
always,
didn't I didn't
that's not a
realize.
bad thing. To me, it's just like, why does she have to?
I mean,
You
I
know what I
could
mean?
tell
Like
you the real
what
reason for
she's
that,
gonna
but
have the kids, right? She's gonna bear them.
yeah.
She doesn't get like any option in it, and like why she's so mind controlled to be like, yeah, converting to Judaism ain't like, it's not easy. It's not like
No.
you fucking
Nope.
send something away on the computer and do it online, and
Nope.
it's a
It's
lot.
serious.
It's a
Yeah.
real big deal, and for her to kind of, I don't know, man. It's
I
just
didn't realize they met so like I guess early in the show either. Like
yes,
yeah.
yes, and it is pretty early in the show still because you even with this reunion, they're still kind of showing shit from season one too. You know
A
what I
little
mean?
bit.
Because it's
Yeah.
covering both a little bit.
Right.
Um, and then I think the rest of it is Reza just coming at my wife for a lot. You know what I mean? And um, I'm gonna try and do this from 10,000 feet, right? I'm gonna just try and remove myself from it, and I like just look at it objectively, and
Yeah.
that's just not a healthy relationship, dude. It's not a
Okay.
healthy. I don't care if you've been friends for fucking 50 years. If one of your
It doesn't happen.
friends like abuses the hell out of you, lights you on fire from time to time, whether it be for TV sake, whether it be just for him to feel better, and
Yeah.
you sit there and take it, that's not healthy. It's not a
No,
healthy
not at
friendship.
all.
It's not a healthy dynamic.
And it's like he almost just puts her down, just putting her down all the time. Like I was feeling
She
for
gets
her.
that from her mother. She doesn't
Yeah,
need it from the
come
other people. You know what I mean?
exactly.
She gets it enough. She doesn't need it from the people that are supposed to be her best friends and whatever the fuck. And don't tell me it's because, TV. Like I guarantee you, I don't know for sure because we never had the conversation. We might
Mhm.
now. We might even have it as the prelim for
Right,
the
right, right.
episode. But I'm willing to bet week, 2 weeks go by after that filming. He calls her up.
And they're
Sorry,
fine.
girl. Just had, we're making reality
Right.
TV. We're trying to make some good shit. And you whatever the fuck. And
It just
yeah,
kind of
know,
happened, and
she's all right with it. And cool. That might be true. That might be true. And I'm just saying it's not a healthy relationship. Like
right.
even if that's as simply, even if she was totally, I don't sweat it. You called, you apologize. We're good now. You know what I mean? That's still not a healthy relationship, dude.
No,
You know
because
what
it
I'm
becomes
saying?
a little bit of a trend.
Yeah, like, and again, because I seen it too. You know what I mean?
I
And
bet.
I'm not even talking like the end game type shit. I'm saying even before that, like that's one of the other reasons where I was a little skeptical about doing the reunion because I know they've had these moments in reunion too,
Yeah.
and I didn't come running on the set. Don't talk like that about my wife. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
it's hard work, bro. Like it's part of what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But part of what they're doing isn't healthy when you're the one that's always taking the shit. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like it'd be one thing if the next year they all
It's
picked
the other
on
way.
Reza
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
But I
yo,
don't think
man, you're
they ever
doing this
did.
with a, but like he kind of singles someone out and then I'm gonna light them on fucking fire, and everybody's gonna hear is gonna do it with me, and it's just like, but even when I don't even want to get into that. I'm talking about their relationship, like their relationship. That's just not a healthy dynamic, dude. Like if my son had a friend, straight, gay, boy, girl,
Whatever.
doesn't matter,
Doesn't
a
matter. Yeah.
friend that's been in their life for a long time, that like, oh, what's up, what's the matter? Yeah, I was with such and such, and they said this, and that, and oh man, that sounds real mean. Your
Yeah.
friends should talk to you like that. You should tell them, yo, man, that's not
Yeah.
cool. We're friends. Don't say. And then 6 months later, oh yeah, man, he did. Trust me, at some point, I'm gonna be like, yo, dude, that's not your
Yeah.
fucking friend, man. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
that's not. And even if they are or whatever, you guys aren't working out well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that was just my biggest takeaway. Like it got very repetitive. Even the stuff about her robbing a bank. Who gives a shit? That's 20 fucking
And it
years.
happened. And if she was only 18 or what, like, who
Who
cares?
cares? It's 20 fucking years ago. You're on reality television, dude. What the, you know what I'm saying? Again, I know for a fact because he used to work at a store and he would like steal like
I'm
clothes from
sure
it. You know
they've
what I
all
mean?
been
Like, come
shady. I
on,
mean,
dude. You're gonna act like you're fucking you're gonna point at someone and wag your finger at them for shit they did when they were 18, dude. Then nobody is gonna be on
didn't
reality
do anything.
television, dude. Because
Yeah.
that's what all these people like. That's where like that's the the next, that's the promotion. You know what I mean? It's being a degenerate in their life, and then they get on
Yeah, and then
reality
you
TV.
change. Well, at
You
least we
know,
hope we change.
so like to act, again, like that's just, and again, that's just being trying to be sensational, and it's trying to, get people. Years later,
Yep.
people still talk about that. So it worked.
Yeah,
What he was trying to do worked.
of course.
It definitely worked in the scope of the show and what they were trying to accomplish. They got a season three, right?
Right,
And they got a two-parter, I think. Yeah, it's two parts. So
right.
in that sense, he definitely delivered the goods on this reality television show. I just don't think that you know, um, I don't think that the damage that you're going to do to friends and relations, I just don't think it's worth it. You know what I mean? I think you could do it without necessarily having to go that route. But what do I know? Because again, they got a season three and they
Yeah,
got a two-part
exactly.
reunion.
And et cetera, and on and on and on.
Yeah, yeah. But I do know that now today they're friends, but they definitely are not as close of friends
Oh, I'm sure
as
not.
they were. You know what I mean? So there definitely was some collateral damage from how they did, and people can think whatever. That's got fucking nothing to do with me, dude. You like we're at a point now. I don't give a fuck what. Like I don't hang out with Reza, but I never did. You know what I mean?
Right,
We're not
right,
friends.
right.
We never were. I'm not gonna hang
Yeah,
out with people that aren't my friend. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I tasted enough fruit off that tree that I'm good, man. You know what I mean? But that I don't preclude her from hanging out with him. Like, knock yourself out, dude. They do the radio all the time down
Mhm.
together. If
Right.
she's out and about with my kid, I'm not gonna be like, well, you can't like
Yeah, you're not going to tell. Yeah,
Shams that he dropped her off a couple of weeks ago, and Shams, like I don't care about that. So that's got nothing to do with me. That's got to do. I think that there's residual damage from her, where it's just like she's got a kid now. You can't talk to me like that. I got a
right,
fucking son. I'm gonna
right.
let you like he's gonna then what? Talk to women like that? Or
Yeah,
better
no
yet,
way.
he's
Not
gonna let
happening.
people shit on him that are
No,
supposed to be friends and that like, oh, that's Uncle Reza. What? You know what I mean? So
definitely not.
I think that like I said, I think that there's an unhealthiness to that relationship. And like you said, there's gonna be more of this. So that's the
Especially
that's
between them.
the biggest takeaway from me watching the reunion was just like this is not, you know what I mean? Like you barely know anybody else on the stage. You know this girl 20 years. Why are you picking on her, dude? You know what I mean? And you can pick on
Yeah,
everybody here
exactly.
and okay, cool. You're gonna get, but like you could see it got to a point that she was hurt. Don't take your don't take your foot off the pedal. Instead, he pinned it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like he's going to mother a whore and fucking like and it's like But
Yeah.
again, some of that's Vida too. Like Vida, for all her tough talk, she should have checked Reza. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she should have checked Reza off camera. Like, yo, man, what the fuck? I know you 20 years. Don't talk about my daughter like that. Don't fucking, you know
Exactly.
what I mean? Don't talk about me like that. Don't talk about my daughter like that. Like you have some respect. You're supposed to be
Yeah.
respectful. And she's never done that. She's always kind of kowtowed to Reza too, dude. So but whatever, man. I think that it was a good season.
Yep.
I like the season better than the reunion.
I mean, I think that's going to be a typical thing you think of.
Yeah, I you're a sharp girl, Lindsay, and you've been down these roads. You know how these shows work,
Yeah.
especially the Bravo types. And I knew it's like I kind of again, that's why I've been slow footing it because I knew
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like the show was very entertaining to the course, but that's not what you get. I mean, they try to give you a sense of that. They'd show you
Yeah.
little montages
Yeah.
of happiness, but they only would talk about that thing for 2 seconds, and then it was back
Right.
to so who's the drug pop and fucking whore? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Except for the one thing I did, I mean, I even got a little choked up with like Reza and his dad, and like when they talked about the him getting back like close with his grandma and that moment, like I thought that was
Yeah,
pretty sweet
yeah.
and
I
touching.
mean, for me, it was hard to like when because in the same breath, he's talking about, I owe all this to the people sitting here and everybody. I'll be forever indebted to you guys. And like, you just vaporized your friend 2 seconds before that. So it's just
Exactly.
hard. Like, it goes on such a peak and a valley that it's hard to take either thing serious. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like, is that really how you feel or is that how you feel for TV? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because it's a great bow on the
Right.
reunion. It's a great bow to finish up. Like, oh yeah, we're all together. Let's hug. But how? Like, I just don't know how. and again, I'm not trying to be a prude about it because I know how these reunions work and I know what the driving force is. I already told you. And those are some real things, man. Trying to get another season,
Oh
trying to
yeah.
get some, more episodes, make more money. Those are all things that I get and I respect. But I still feel like there's a line in the sand, dude, where it's
Yeah.
like, let's just ease off a little bit, hit her. Now let me hit him. You know what I mean? Let me hit her. Like it just, at some point it became redundant. Like it felt like I was
Definitely.
watching 15 minutes of you're a pill popper, you're a drug addict, you need to get help. It's like, who's driving me to fucking,
You're fake.
you
This person's
know
fake.
what I
This
mean? Like you're gonna
is
drive me to Betty Ford? Who's driving you? It's not, like they're not, like I said, Lily's the only person that can legitimately stand up there and say, listen, I watched you guys for a year. I've never been a big drinker, so it's hard for me. But I feel
Yeah,
you
normal.
guys all drink too much. I feel like you guys all do more than normal and more than necessary. And I'm just trying to be a friend here.
And
She
enjoy.
she could say that, but you
Yeah.
can't everyone else be like, yeah, bitch, you're a drunk. It's like you guys, did you see the montage? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
They were
Like,
all pretty trashed.
yeah, everybody was
I
pretty
don't
trashed.
particularly get like that. I don't really know what that's like.
And not just that, 5 minutes before, they just all kind of, they all kind of agreed that Lily was very uptight. And she even was
And
like,
she
yeah, I got to
acknowledged
loosen
it,
up.
that she said, I got to loosen up a bit. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
you weren't fucking me out. And again, my wife did drink too much when I first met her, but that also, her dad was sick. You know what I mean? And I knew that that was
Coping.
a big part of it. Like I could tell that that was a big part of it. Getting phone calls and being asked questions about his life and like what to
Right.
do and doctor shit. It was a lot for her. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
but like she was never, like she said, she never got behind a wheel. She never fucking, and those talking heads, I would drink at them too, dude. That's half of
Yeah,
you're
I
there for
don't,
3 hours. You want to
of
be
course.
quippy. You know what I mean? You want to be
And
quippy.
they
You want to
probably give
say,
you the alcohol, let alone not bringing it yourself. They're like, here you
yeah,
go,
man.
have
It's
some.
like, I don't know, man. So I just thought that that was all very hypocritical. And Andy's actually normally pretty good on this. He was good on this. Like
Yeah.
but I felt he didn't have enough history with anybody there to kind of be
Yeah.
like, well, you all kind of fucking, you know what I mean?
You'll have to compare it like later on, like how he
Yeah,
have to look at it towards the end or the next one
yeah,
to
yeah.
see
I
how
think
he,
so. Listen, I'm happy I got this out of the way.
yes.
Now we could get back to watching episodes and season three. I already got a couple other people lined up. Would love to have you back again, Lindsay. You're always great to
Anytime,
talk to.
anytime,
All
Tommy.
right, kiddo, you're the best. Thank you for, this is real last minute, and I appreciate
It's
you.
all
I
good.
know you got something you got to do too, but
Yeah.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope you guys enjoyed it, and everybody have a great week.
Bye.
Bye bye.